Today's podcast is slightly different from the others. Today, I don't want to discuss a super simple habit that you can start right now. What I want to talk about is actually starting right now, or that scary word called action. What thoughts come to your mind when you hear the word action, for example? Do you think of Sylvester Stallone jumping off a helicopter, an action hero? Or do you picture a director saying action and all the actors starting to act? Very often, we listen to things that we should be acting on and just remain as, oh, good to know things or good to do things. They stay at that intellectual exercise level, and we in our minds say, someday I will do this. Now, as your habit coach, this word called someday is a very upsetting thing. Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach podcast, the podcast where we evolve into the best versions of ourselves, one awesome habit at a time. I'm Ashdin, Doctor, your habit coach. And as your habit coach, this word called someday is very upsetting. Someday is not a day that even exists. It never comes. Neither is tomorrow or day after, for that matter. It's not in the calendar. The secret is to begin the action right now. If you hear something interesting that I talk about on the podcast, move your butt and do it. Take action. Think of yourself as an action hero. Imagine you were Bruce Willis from Die Hard. Would you have heard about the terrorists attacking this particular building and you would stop and say, that's interesting. I'll try and go save them some other day. You have to start taking action. Take a tiny step in that direction that you want to head. You want to start reading? Awesome. Take a step towards reading by just carrying a book around with you. Don't be that person who wants to start reading and doesn't know or own any books. If you want to become a certain kind of person, start behaving like that kind of person. In other words, start acting like that kind of person. Don't fake it, act it. Remember, the first letters of the word action are A-C-T or act. Let me give you an example. I wanted to write a book about habits. Now, I am not a writer. I have never written a book in my life. So what did I do? I saw masterclasses by Malcolm Gladwell, James Peterson, two of the best-selling authors in the world. And I understood their mindset, the way they approach writing. Their biggest tip was to get into the habit of writing at least 1,000 words every day. Now, firstly, they used the word habit. So obviously, it was an instant connection right there. So after watching this, for the next 2 weeks, I filled my mornings writing at least 1,000 words a day. And I could see my writing style improve over time. In the end, I managed to author 3 new books: Change Your Habits, Change Your Life, The Book of Good Habits for Kids, and the latest one, which is A Habit a Day. 3 books in 1 year. Now, the point of the story is that it was easy for me to listen to those masters and hear what they had to say, but not do anything. I could look at them and say, okay, I will do this someday. Maybe someday I will write a book. The number of people that die without ever having written their books that they have inside of them, it's very sad. You have to learn to take advice and put it into action. That is the only way to grow. Every single episode of The Habit Coach has something that you can act on from today. Don't overthink it. Don't do mental gymnastics and get stuck. Begin to act and move forward. Bring about that change in your life, a change that you wanted. Write to me. Send me a direct message on Instagram. Send me a tweet. Show me how you've taken action on something today. Something that you learned either from the podcast or through reading or through people that are your mentors. Tell me how you took action and then watch your life change. I'm Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. If you like this episode, don't forget to hit subscribe. Also give us a rating. It really helps with people discovering the podcast. If you like podcasts like this, check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can also watch all the episodes on the Habit Coach Awesome 180 YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. You can also reach out to me. I am Ashdin Doc at Twitter and Instagram. You can connect with me on my website, awesome180.com. You can also check out my 2 new books, Change Your Habits, Change Your Life, and the second, The Book of Good Habits for Kids. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach.
IVM.